Hello friends and welcome back. Today I am going to talk about the FRM part 1, and my objective of this session will be to cover the topics one by one. As far as the FRM readings are concerned, I will cover all the topic of FRM 1, starting from the foundation of risk management, that is the topic 1 as far as the GARP reading is concerned, and the exam weight for this particular topic is around 20%, and the number of questions on this topic will be 20. The next topic will be quantitative analysis, and as far as the GARP, the exam weight is 20% and the number of questions is also 20. The third topic will be financial markets and products, and the exam weight for this particular topic is 30% and the number of questions will again 30. The fourth and the last topic is valuation and risk models, and the exam weight is 30% and the number of questions will be 30. So therefore we can clearly understand that financial market and products and valuation and risk models carries almost 60% weight, but we have to give equal time to all the four topics because we have to clear all the four topics individually when we have to appear for the FRM examinations. We cannot escape any topic, and for clearing the exam we have to clear all the four individually. And now in the sessions I will discuss all the topics one by one. Like first I will be starting with foundation of risk management, and the foundation of risk management is the basic concept, how the risk is being identified, how those risks which is being identified is going to be managed and measured, what are techniques that can be used while measuring those risks. In foundation of risk management, the first topic, that is the building blocks of risk management, and in this particular area now we will discuss the building block of the risk management in details, how this building block is being developed, what are the process need to be followed when we talk about the building blocks for a risk management process. The first and foremost part of this building block is to understand what is a risk. Risk is nothing but an uncertainty or maybe the negative outcomes like unexpected investment losses. This is the risk, because organizations is not much bothered about the expected loss or some kind of a positive results, but they are more concerned about the unexpected losses and some kind of a uncertainties which is linked to the losses. So for building blocks we have to understand the process, how it is being done. The first point in the building block is to identify the risks. What are the risks the organization is carrying in different activities. The second point is the measure and manage the risk. Once the risk has been identified, how the organization is going to measure and manage this risk. And the next part is to how to distinguish, how to separate the two risks, the expected and unexpected risk. How we will identify this is expected and this is unexpected loss risk. The fourth point is, then once this is being established, then we have to understand relationship between these two risks. These risks are related, non-related. Is there any correlation between these two risks? And fifth point is to develop a risk mitigation strategy. Once this relationship has been established, how to mitigate those risks. The one risk will not hover around the second risk. And the sixth point is, once the risk strategy has been developed, to monitor those strategies or whatever the approach we have adopted or whatever the risk framework we have developed, that is giving the our expected outcome results. We are able to manage those risks with the strategy that we have adopted. So that is a sixth point, which is very very crucial, to monitor the risks. And in case those strategies not able to give the positive outcome or expected results, we have to adjust our strategies according to the need of the hour. Friends, we know that for identifying the risk, organizations can have various methods to identify the risk. Like some organizations have their key business leaders or their managers who are head of those particular activity or department or verticals. Then they will take a lot of feedbacks from those managers and key persons to how to identify the risk that is inherent in the particular business activities. So this is the one way we can identify the risk. And for identifying the risk, there are other kind of the technique that can be used. Like we can have scenario analysis, we can have stress testing of the our activities. So these are the way we can identify the risk in our activities. In the risk identification process, what we have to do, we have to filter the risk into degrees of the known and unknown, because unless and until we know which are the known risk and which are unknown risk, we cannot have a proper risk framework which is required to mitigate the unknown risk. And this unknown risk again can be subdivided into two categories. One is the known unknown, like heightened uncertainty, and second is the unknown unknown. And the organization has to strive to just to mitigate the known unknown, because unknown unknown is very difficult to manage and identify, because those are the very out tiers or the tail risk, which is very difficult to manage at the organization level. So if we can draw a diagram which depict the loss categories from our organizational charts, so we can draw this diagram which depicts how the loss categories will look like. The innermost portion of this loss categories is expected loss, which is known at the start of the transaction or maybe the activity. The second is unexpected loss, which is quite severe than the expected loss, because the quantity is not known, and therefore it is difficult to measure, and organization need to strive to manage this unexpected loss. And the third category, which is every organization is looking to manage with a very sincerity, that is unknown known, or we can call known unknowns. And the last and the most critical is unknown, which is a kind of tail risk, and managing the tail risk is very costly for organizations, and generally it cannot be managed in a real world environment. Typically, the risk management process involves four-way decisions. The company might avoid the risk by not involving any activities which we see there is a risk involved, and they can do the next step, that is they can retain the risk. If they are confident that whatever the risk they are taking, they can retain it, they can manage it within their framework, so they can retain it. Another way of the risk management process is to mitigate the risk, and the last one is the transfer the risk. Organization can transfer the whatever the risk is there by buying an insurance or buying a derivative product or a structured product. Now next is measuring and managing the risk. After the risk is being identified, how we are going to manage and measure this risk. This is the next step in the building block of the risk management process. For managing the risk,